Hey friends, I'm Stacy and this is Gorgeously Aging, and today we're going to do a get ready with me featuring the Patric. This is the Major Skin Hydra-Luxe Luminous Skin Perfecting Foundation. This foundation I have used several times. It is a light to medium luminous finish, hydrating on the skin, beautiful on mature skin that is dry, dehydrated, if you want a gorgeous luminous glow. This is not at all a matte foundation, so it does not dry down to a soft powdery finish. So you can wear this one with a little powder to set it down, or just have that radiant finish without setting. I do think it's helpful to set down a few key areas, but that is really personal preference. I also have the new Haus Labs. This is a concealer stick and I am loving this product. It is so simple and easy to use, and just a really good size to take on the go. I did pick up the Haus Labs brush to go with that, and this brush makes doing a nose contour so easy. So I already started out with the Kopari. This is the Bright as Day Mineral Sunscreen. I put that on about an hour ago, so it has settled into my skin. I do find with the luminous hydrating finishes that it's nice to let your skincare and foundation settle in a little bit. I am going to use today the e.l.f. color corrector for under my eyes. This is in the color Peach, and this just helps brighten up any darkness under the eyes, which I tend to have in the corners. So I'm just going to brighten up there just a little bit, and I'm going to use a sponge to work that in. Depending on how much darkness you have on the under eyes, you can certainly use a little more or a little less. I find it really helpful, like right in these inner corners and just right here. Using a finger works just as well. This is a nice hydrating formula. Doesn't crease under the eyes. So I like to put this on underneath foundation or before foundation. I am going to use a tiny bit of concealer to brighten under the eyes, but I will do that after foundation. I will list all the colors I'm using down in the description box below. So I'm going to take one pump of the Patric foundation on the back of my hand. And you can see it is a nice fluid formula. I'm going to take a foundation brush. This is a rougher brush. Start in the middle of my face and just blend it outwards for a light, luminous finish. If you want to build it up a little, you could add a second pump. I really just want my skin to be kind of fresh, luminous, and hydrated today. I don't want a heavy finish. These rougher brushes make it so easy to blend in foundation. I've been using them a lot lately. And I think between these and the BK Beauty brushes, they're both my favorite brush brands. If I had to choose one over the other, I'd probably pick the rougher brushes, but BK Beauty makes some beautiful brushes as well. This is a beautiful foundation for mature skin if you want a healthy glow and light to medium coverage, and for your skin to look like skin. This doesn't look heavily made up at all. I'm going to use my Yummy Skin. This is the Lift and Flex Concealer by Danessa Myricks. She makes some beautiful products, and this is really beautiful on mature skin. So I'm just going to brighten up my under eyes and create a little upward lift here. I'm using the color 5 in this today, and I'll just show you. It has a small doe foot applicator. It's not overly big, so it makes it easy to get into that corner. I'm going to use the rougher LC01 brush. I need to clean my brushes. It's been about a week and a half. They're looking a little dirty. And I like this because it's a little smaller angled concealer brush, so it gets into this corner for me a little bit better than some do. The BK Beauty Kitten Paw concealer brush is nice as well, but it's a little bigger than this one. This has that same kind of kitten paw shape, but it's a little bit smaller. So I discovered a drugstore powder. It's probably the nicest, one of the nicest powders I've used in a while, both high-end and drugstore. I'm going to use that in just a second. But it is by Pixi. And I don't buy Pixi products a lot, but every time I do, I always am really impressed by them. So I do want to try more Pixi products. So this is in translucent. It's a hydrating, blurring powder. I think it's great on mature skin. And I'm just going to use my rougher brush. This is the 18. And just lightly set in my under eyes. I like to kind of bring this down, and then I like to do my nose as well. This is a beautiful finely milled powder that's hydrating. It doesn't look chalky or dry on the skin. It's going to come down my nose and get my chin as well. It does do a little pore blurring. On the days that I want a light luminous look on my foundation, I just usually powder my under eyes very lightly, and then in the T-zone where I have some enlarged pores, so forehead, chin, sometimes a little on my cheeks, but I kind of left them today. So I'm going to do a little contouring with the new Haus Labs contour stick, and I'll list the color down below, you guys, because I definitely cannot see without my glasses. Let me try to see if I can make sense of what this says. I think the color is Sculpt. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a little contouring here. And I like to go around my forehead. This is a really nice formula. It's not a super sheer formula, so if you like a really sheer formula that just kind of blends in with one swipe, this one might take a little more blending because it is a little more opaque, but it is a creamy formula that blends in well, and I'll show you in just a second here. I've been loving this for nose contouring. And I'm going to put a little bit up on my upper eyelid here. And then of course I like to get my jawline and just down my neck here. A little bit here just to shape this area. We're getting snow today, you guys, in Colorado. My dogs are barking, so somebody must be walking outside. So while they're barking, I'm going to go ahead and start blending this in, and then I'll tell you my story about the snow. So you can see it doesn't take a lot to blend this in. I decided to do makeup from home today instead of going to my office for this video, just because it is snowing. It was blowing pretty hard. It was really blustery this morning, but we didn't get a lot of accumulation. It was maybe a couple inches, and we'll see if it sticks on the ground. But the mountaintops are starting to look so beautiful because the snow does stay up on the mountain peaks. I love the look of snow on the mountains in the winter and fall. So I'm going to move to that Haus Labs brush. It's got kind of this fluffy side. It's got an angled side as well. So with the fluffy side, I'm just going to blend in this eyelid contouring. And you know, when you use a product like this, if you're not into eyeshadow, this can be one of those products that you just do a little eyelid contouring and that's it. Now you could use the fluffy side on this or the angled side. I use both. Usually I start with the angled side and then I buff with the fluffy side. And I just like to pull down and then swipe a little bit. And then I'm just going to buff with that fluffier side. And that just gives a little contour to the nose. Can definitely slim out a nose that's a little wide. Can take a bulbous nostril and make it a little slimmer. It's an extra step, but that's one thing about making videos at home is I have to deal with my dogs barking at people out the window, so. But I'm sure some of you have dogs too that like to bark at people out their windows. I've talked about this blush so many times. This is the e.l.f. blush tint or blush stain. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but this is in Cherry Cola, I believe is the color name. It is so pretty. So inexpensive. I love this blush so much. I reach for this one all the time. So I'm just going to use that same foundation brush and just pat that in. It looks dark in the bottle, but it looks so beautiful on. So don't let the dark color scare you off. So I have a Billion Dollar Beauty brow pencil here. This is the first time I've used anything from this brand. So I'm just going to fill in some of the sparseness in my brows and go over it with a little brow gel. You can actually find this product at TJ Maxx sometimes, but I'll link everything down below so you can check out the reviews and If you use my links, that's a great way to support my content, so thank you for those of you who do. I always appreciate the support. So I believe this color is called Universal. And let me show you a little swatch. It's a nice, like, kind of taupey brown. It's not super dark, it's not super light. It's got a nice neutral tone. Slightly cool to neutral, I guess I would say. The formula isn't too creamy and slippery, but it's not dry either, which is what I like. Sometimes the too dry formulas are hard to work with, and the really overly creamy formulas can be messy. So I'm going to take this spoolie and just brush up these brows. So for those of you brand new, if you're looking for my facial rejuvenation content, I have free educational videos on facial rejuvenation, which is my specialty, and those are at rumble.com/gorgeouslyaging. So I'm going to use the Lawless. This is the Soft Set Creamy Brow Wax. This does have a little tint to it. This is in the color Light Medium, and the wand looks like that. Wondering if that's showing up. I find that if I don't do a brow gel, something seems unfinished to me. I feel like it just picks up those brow hairs, especially when your brows are sparse. Just makes them look a little more defined and separated. And I'm going to take the Natasha Denona Mini Eye Sculpt Palette, and I'm going to use this kind of sand color, light brown color, with a rougher 27 brush. This is a nice fluffy blending brush. And just go above the crease with the majority of the product, and then kind of swipe some onto the lid. Then I'm going to take this flatter brush, this is the rougher 28, and go in on the side of that brush into that color. And take that and just run it along the lower lash line. I really like this palette. If you haven't used, I've mentioned this before, guys, in other videos, but if you haven't tried Natasha Denona, she makes one of the most beautiful eyeshadow formulas. I would say Natasha Denona, Anastasia Beverly Hills, Makeup by Mario, Patric Ta, they all make beautiful eyeshadow formulas. As well as Danessa Myricks, her formulas are gorgeous. If you guys want a video on my absolute favorite eyeshadow palettes, let me know in the comments, and I'll do an eyeshadow exclusive video that talks about eyeshadow formulas that are great on mature eyes. I'm going to take this little precise brush here. It's kind of a detailed like eyeliner brush, and I'm going to take some of this dark brown and some of the black. And just in the very corner, right through where the lashes grow out, just deepen that up a little bit. Kind of makes you look like you have more bottom lashes than you actually do. So because it's a snowy day here, I'm going to do some work, but then some housework. And I always love doing housework on a like snowy, cold day. And I used a fireplace here year round because our mornings are cold even in the summer. And so I have the fireplace on today. Might turn on some music and I don't know, just enjoy the kind of cold, yucky weather. I sometimes like a snow day or a blustery day just because I get more housework done. All right, before I put on a little mascara, I'm going to use my Stila Stay All Day Liquid Eyeliner. This has been one of my all-time favorites. And just get in there where the lashes grow out. Of course, I have false lashes on. I will list these down below. So you just go to where the video title is, and then it says more, and you hit more, and then you'll see all kinds of information there, including the product links. I'm going to use the L'Oreal Age Perfect Mascara and just do a tiny bit on my false lashes. And I'll hit those bottom lashes too real quick. And then I have this lip combo, which is very nourishing. You guys, I've been into lip combos lately, finding ones that I really love. And this is the NYX Duck Plump plumping lip liner in the color Nude Flip. So here's what that looks like. And here is a swatch. This is actually a really impressive formula. I haven't used any of the NYX Duck Lips just because the whole word Duck Lips, I don't know, it just didn't attract me to the line, but this is a nice liner and the color is a great nude. I think with nude liners, you can wear them with nude colors, but you can also go over them with brighter colors. Just a nice way to shape the lip. And you guys know I like to come into the body of the lip just a little bit with the lip liner, especially when I'm going to use something more sheer on top, because I just don't want to see the stark liner through the sheer gloss. This is the Ole Henriksen Pout Preserve Peptide Lip Treatment. The color is Creme Brulee Glimmer, and that's what it looks like. Has a vanilla scent, light vanilla, it's not overpowering. It feels really hydrating without being sticky. It does have a nice sheen to it, which I like. I have to say the Patric foundation is absolutely beautiful. All I used was one pump. It has such a pretty glow. It's gorgeous on dry, mature skin. I think somebody with normal to combination skin could wear it as well. I'm not sure somebody with oily skin would like this foundation. The Yummy Skin Concealer looks gorgeous under mature eyes. It doesn't stick into fine lines or wrinkles. It sets down nicely with a tiny bit of powder, or you could let it self-set without any powder. I like to lightly set the under eye, just a tiny bit of powder, and then set the T-zone just so that those enlarged pores are not shiny. I just feel like a little powder in those problem areas, in that T-zone, forehead, chin, makes all the difference, and then let the rest of the skin glow. So this is the finished makeup look, you guys. I'll do my hair off camera, but I think this is a beautiful combination. If you guys are looking for a really good corrector for dark circles under the eyes, the e.l.f. is so inexpensive, it works so well, and the actual texture and formula is really beautiful on mature skin. Also by e.l.f., don't be afraid of trying this Cherry Cola shade in the cheek tint. It is gorgeous. It wears well, it blends in easily, it's just so pretty. I definitely have no regrets on the Hourglass bronzing or contouring stick. It's easy to apply, it blends in nicely, it lasts really well. So for me, this is a great purchase, something I'll get really good use out of. I also think it makes that nose contour so much easier. Something to mention about this lip combo that I didn't mention when I was putting it on is it does give you a slight tingle. It's not spicy on the lips like some plumping like lip glosses are, but you do feel that slight kind of tingly sensation that you get with plumping products. So keep that in mind. It doesn't last forever. It kind of lasts the first 15 minutes or so that you've applied it, and then it dissipates. But I love this color. And I think no matter what you put over it, it's just a nice way to define the lips. And then this Ole Henriksen, if you're into glosses or lip treatments that have good ingredients, definitely consider this one. I also have like an orangey corally color. There's like a deeper kind of berry color as well, but I like this neutral. It suits me. But I did have my eye on the berry one for the holidays, so I might have to pick that up. So again, I'll list everything down in the description box below. Thank you so much for joining me, you guys. I hope you like this makeup look. If you have any questions or any product recommendations, please share those in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you guys in my next video. Be good to yourselves and to others. See you next time.